The red light pulsed. It did not blink. It blazed. A klaxon alarm split the sterile air. A man, uniformed and pale, stared at a screen. His name was Stanislav Petrov. The screen showed a single missile launch, then another, and another, a fourth, a fifth.
The system's cold electronic voice confirmed the unthinkable.
A nuclear attack from the United States was underway. His watch ticked, each second a hammer blow. Outside, world dark and quiet. Inside, the end of the world had seemingly begun. His hand hovered over a phone. The protocol was simple. The orders were clear. He was the first link in a chain to global thermonuclear war. The fate of humanity rested on his next move. He looked at his subordinates' faces. They were young, eyes wide with terror. He checked his watch again. Just after midnight, September 26, 1983. Screen, highest certainty, level 1, missile strike. The warnings were not a drill. The system had never failed before. Yet something felt wrong. A knot of doubt tightened in his gut. His training screamed, "Report up the chain." His instincts whispered, "Wait." Minutes, perhaps less, to choose machine or intuition. The pressure in the room was immense. Every flashing light, every piercing beep demanded action. His job, pass information upward. But he knew what that call would trigger. Immediate, massive, retaliatory strike. Millions would die in the first exchange. Billions, perhaps, in the nuclear winter that followed. He was not a general. He was not a politician. He was a lieutenant colonel, a gatekeeper before the abyss. He watched the slow sweep of the clock. The world held its breath, unaware. This was not unique, a Cold War symptom. MAD depended on flawless systems and instant reactions. But what if systems are flawed? What if the data is wrong? Stanislav Petrov was not supposed to be on duty that night. He was filling in for a sick colleague. A random twist of fate placed him at the epicenter of a potential apocalypse. As the alarm shrieked, his mind raced. The protocol was unambiguous. He had to pick up the direct line to Soviet High Command and report a strike. The system, called OKO, or I, was the pride of the Soviet military. It used satellites to detect the intense heat bloom of a missile launch. His console screamed, 5-Minuteman intercontinental ballistic missiles arcing over the pole, heading straight for the Soviet Union. His staff turned to him, faces full of fear and expectation. They were trained to follow his lead without question. The burden of the decision was his alone. He stared at the screens, searching for corroboration. He checked ground-based radar. They showed nothing. His first clue. A full-scale attack wouldn't start with 5 missiles. It would be a massive, overwhelming wave. Thousands of missiles, not a handful. This small number felt illogical, like a mistake. He later called it a 50-50 guess. Duty told him to report. His gut told him to pause. He said he felt like he was sitting on a hot frying pan. Seconds stretched into an eternity. Superiors flooded his line, demanding answers. The system kept screaming attack. Under immense pressure, Petrov chose. He picked up the phone and reported a system malfunction. It was a lie, a colossal gamble against every rule. He declared the nation's multi-billion ruble shield faulty. If wrong, missiles would land in minutes, and he'd be responsible. He could be branded a traitor, his name linked to devastation. In 1995, years after the Cold War, the nightmare returned. On January 25th, Russian radar detected an object launched off the coast of Norway. It separated into stages, its trajectory arcing toward Moscow. The system flagged a potential nuclear attack. For the first time ever, Russia's nuclear briefcase was activated. President Boris Yeltsin had less than 10 minutes to decide whether to launch a full-scale retaliatory strike. The object was a Norwegian research rocket. A simple bureaucratic error had pushed the world to the edge of nuclear war. False alarms are rarely a single point of failure, but a cascade of errors. Satellites can be fooled by sunlight on clouds. Aging hardware and software are another vulnerability. A single faulty chip once brought the US to the brink. Ultimately, the systems were built for speed, not deliberation. With missile flight times so short, the system is biased toward action, where any false alarm can become real. In the cold calculus of nuclear deterrence, humans were often seen as the weakest link, fallible, emotional, and slow, compared to lightning-fast computers processing threat data. But in the moments that mattered most, that very fallibility became the world's salvation. The machine sees data points, heat signature, trajectory, speed. It calculates probabilities and flags anomalies. It cannot feel doubt. Stanislav Petrov did not have better data than his computer. He had a feeling, intuition from experience. He understood the logic of his adversary. He knew a real first strike would look different. His doubt was analysis a machine could not do. Control room personnel follow checklists and protocols. The best were trained to think, look for corroborating evidence, question a single source, challenge assumptions. In the 1980s US false alarm, NORAD's main screens showed an incoming attack. Raw sensor data did not confirm it. Methodical cross-checking and calm refusal to panic prevented escalation. The minutes that mattered were filled with hesitation, not frantic action. The pause broke the escalation chain. In 1995, Boris Yeltsin felt every instinct to respond. Waiting risked annihilation, yet he waited. A few crucial seconds showed the trajectory wasn't consistent with an attack on Moscow. Doubt was not weakness. It was the ultimate failsafe. Human friction is necessary. A purely automated system would have launched in 1983. It wouldn't have hesitated. The world could have ended because of sunlight on a cloud. Some decisions are too important for machines. They require judgment, wisdom, fear. After the alarms fall silent and the crisis passes, a profound quiet descends. The individuals involved feel adrenaline fade, replaced by the realization of what almost happened. We still live in a world with thousands of nuclear weapons on high alert, ready to launch in minutes. New technologies introduce new dangers, from hypersonic weapons to cyber attacks that could create false warnings. We are still here because a few people, in critical moments, chose to doubt the machine. The greatest danger is not an enemy's malice, but our own fallible technology. True security is not found in a faster trigger, but in the wisdom to hesitate.